Hi everybody, it's Paul Coyne from businesspartnerforhire.com. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about sales. You as the business owner, you've hired some salespeople. Maybe you have one salesperson, maybe you have 20 salespeople. And if you have more than one, or if you've hired more than one, you know there are many different styles of salespeople. Even if somebody has sales experience, so you want to only hire somebody with sales experience, okay, fine. And then you want to just let them go do it and forget about it, that is not a good plan. Even if somebody says they don't need any help, you want to be there to understand what you've truly got on your hands in terms of this salesperson. So what I would recommend you do is after whatever amount of time it is that they need to get ramped up so that they're ready to make a phone call, which hopefully shouldn't take longer than a day or two or a week. So when they're getting ready, when your expectation is they should be making phone calls, you say, okay, listen, hey, I expect you to be able to make some phone calls and talk to some clients. And so after they had a couple of hours, go in to see them. Go in to see your salesperson and ask them how it's going. You are going to get a variety of replies depending on the type of salesperson you've got. You might have somebody that says, oh, you told me to do 10, I've already done 10. And I'm just, putting together my list for tomorrow. Oh, okay, fantastic. That's great. What was your success rate? Oh, well, nobody picked up the phone, or I only got through to 3 people, and I've got 1 appointment. Oh, okay. Well, that's not bad. That's not as good as I hoped. Who have you called? Oh, well, I called all the top prospects. Okay, well, that's maybe not so good because, you're really hoping for a better success rate than what you got. That's one style of person. Then you're going to have another style of person who also was, a successful salesperson or has a career that they've laid out for you that says they understand sales. And you go see them after they've been doing it for a couple of hours. And how many phone calls have they made? 0. None. So you're a little concerned. And so you talk to the salesperson, say, okay, what's going on? And, well, I'm making my list and I'm doing a little bit of research on these people. And I've gone into LinkedIn and I've checked to see what their background is and, who they know, whether maybe I know somebody, so I might be able to get in with them some other way through a friend of mine or an acquaintance or colleague of mine. So that's what I'm doing there. I'm doing some research on their website, and I'm doing some research to see how much we've sold them in the past up until now. That's what I'm trying to figure out with these people. And you're like, wow, I'm so impressed. Wow, you're doing all this research. This is really, really good. So you might be tempted to walk away from that situation thinking everything's fine because you've got somebody that's planning so well. But some of the problem that you have with the planner is they're an excessive planner and they just plan to death and they never actually make those phone calls. So this person might be a little bit more of an introvert, a little more introspective, a little more detail oriented. And so these people can be fantastic salespeople, but they might need a little push. And so in that particular case, what you might want to do is you say, listen, hey, I really want you to make a phone call. You tell me which one of those people you're going to call first. And I want you to call them right now. I can either stay in the room or I can leave the room to give you, so you're comfortable that I'm not listening to you work your way through your sales pitch. If you'd like some privacy, I can do that, or I can be here in case there's some questions that they may ask you may not be able to answer since you're fairly new at this job. But you need to push them. And that kind of person, you may need to tell them, say, listen, I need to know that you're going to get 10 phone calls made. Let's just say that's the number. You're going to make 10 phone calls every day. That's the critical thing for you. Back to the person who had already done all of the phone calls was on to the next ones. So this person, you might need to set a limit. I only want you to call 10 people. What I want you to do is that prior to you making those phone calls, I want to know that you've done some research on these people. I want to know what your plan is. How are you, going to handle an objection? How are you going to handle the receptionist? I'd like to see some planning that you're going to go ahead with. So I'm going to drop in on you in the first hour of the day, or whatever hour it is you're going to do your planning, and I'm going to come in and talk to you about that. So these are how different the salespeople are. If you want to just let your salespeople just go and do it on their own, and you say I hired them for that, you are potentially looking at somebody that you're going to fire 3 months later, and you've wasted a lot of money and time in training these people. You've got to be in with them early. You don't have to spend a lot of time, but you need to understand that these types of things will happen with your salespeople, for sure.